While this game seemed to have flown under the radar for a lot of people, I'm glad I was able to discover it and play it thoroughly. Everything about it was so great and left me wanting more. This is my spoiler-free review of A Space for the Unbound. You take the reins as Atma, a senior in high school. After having a very vivid dream about meeting a girl named Nirmala and then subsequently drowning trying to save her, you wake up in your classroom with no memory of how you got there. The girl who sits in front of him, named Rhea, reminds Atma that they're dating. Just as you start to slowly piece together why you're in a classroom, the homeroom teacher barges in and yells at the two of you for not completing a form for after graduation. Once the teacher leaves, Atma and Rhea decide to turn the paper into a bucket list of things they want to do. Petting the fluffiest animal known to man, finding hidden treasure, and wanting to watch a fireworks show are just a few of the things the pair wants to accomplish. However, you quickly realize not everything is as it seems. People are literally going insane, the sky is cracking, and things are glitching out. It's up to Atma to figure out the cause and put a stop to it. I was very engrossed in the story. Right from that hooking introduction to the very last moment in the game left me wanting to experience everything this game had to offer. From beginning to end, the game was just so good in its storytelling. Everything felt purposeful in the story, like it was just meant to be there. While the first few chapters had a very simple story to pick up on and follow, Chapter 4 was completely different. That was the point of the game where the story was just turned on its head, and it started to become very convoluted. A lot of plot points just weren't making sense to me, and as the game progressed, the story got more and more confusing, as it seemed like they tried to throw in 85 plot points they forgot to mention earlier. And while the ending was phenomenal, it left me with questions that were never answered. While overall the story and especially that ending were very well done, some parts were just too convoluted to understand. I was blown away by the fun gameplay. I went into the game not having the highest expectations since the whole game is a side-scroller, but I was surely mistaken. Having such simple movement in that aspect was a godsend, as the rest of the gameplay was the exact opposite. Complicated. The game was full of puzzles, ranging in difficulty from a simple fetch quest to extremely difficult things like doing actual algebra. I kid you not, you have to do math to solve a puzzle. And it's not easy math either. You have to find out what x and y equal to by running around the school to try to find different values. While the puzzles in town were overall fun, the real challenge yet thrill of the gameplay is in the space dive mechanic. Some people will get this glowing yellow ball above their head, signifying that they're being held back by something internally. Atma can enter their psyche and, by solving a few puzzles, can advance the story. In the first few chapters, space dive puzzles were very easy. However, by chapter 4, I needed a guide, as they just got way too complicated. I'll never forget the water pipes puzzle. You have to match the path the water pipe was going to a map the game provided you, but all the water pipes go in and out of each other, making it very difficult to comprehend where they actually go. I tried many times to the point that I actually pulled a guide, as I wanted to actually finish the game. Overall, while a lot of the puzzles were very fun and made me feel accomplished because I could actually beat them, some of them were frustratingly difficult. This was by far my favorite aspect of the entire game. Every character was written so beautifully and they felt so real. Every character has their distinct personality that sets them apart from the rest. While Eric was more of a delinquent, Marin was more reserved and studious. It was cool to see how each character would express their emotions and handle situations differently compared to their peers. The game also really dived deep into each main character's backstory, making for a game that genuinely cared about his characters. I loved how the game wasn't shy to talk about some more depressing issues and how the characters got through that situation individually. It just felt like they were real people, with real personalities. Just wow. The music was absolutely incredible. Every song felt like it had its own emotional grip on the player. I was dancing to every song there was because of just how good they were. There were actually a few songs that had singing in them, but you had to complete a couple hard-to-find side quests to hear them. I got the chance to give them a listen during my playthrough, and holy crap, they were amazing. I had tears forming in my eyes listening to the vocals and the somber music. Every song in the OST was just so good, and right after I completed the game, I saved the album to my Spotify account so I could always hear it again. The graphics and art style were also really good. It was a pixel art style, which if you know me, I love. Every object and character, even random NPCs in town, were detailed so beautifully. Nothing was forgotten, and it really showed the time and effort the developers put into the game. A Space for the Unbound is a solid game that you seriously need to play. Its great storytelling, characters, atmosphere, gameplay, and everything in between was very well done. I'm going to give the game a 4.5 out of 5 stars, with the only negatives being that late game puzzles were very complicated and the ending part of the story was way too convoluted. Overall, you need to play A Space for the Unbound. Thanks for watching my review of A Space for the Unbound. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a like. Also, make sure to comment what game I should do next, subscribe to the channel, and turn those post notifications on so you know when I post next. I'll see y'all later. Bye!